Welcome back to Legends Live as presented by the National Basketball Retired Players Association. This is the home of all the NBA and WNBA legends. I'd like to remind all our viewers you can submit questions to be answered during the show. Without further ado, I'll get to our guest today. He is a former Charlotte Hornet, a former Wake Forest Demon Deacon. He is Baltimore's finest. We've got Muggsy Bogues with us today.
What's up, T?
What's up, Muggsy? How you feeling, man?
Oh, I'm feeling good, man. Can't complain.
How's quarantine treating you? You looking good. How you feeling?
Well, I'm good. I'm good. We just getting over. My son had a wedding. Last couple weeks,
Okay.
so we getting through that. Fortunate enough, we got through it, and we were safe. I only had a few people in attendance, but it was a beautiful wedding. And again, back home, just doing my thing again, staying away from everybody, and trying to maintain safety, like we are practicing.
I hear you. Now, I saw just recently this Labor Day, the Muggsy Bogues Foundation had something going on. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, the Muggsy Bogues Family Foundation. I mean, Labor Day, we just went out and created a campaign called it Labor of Love, where we wanted to feed the community. We took 20 families, and thankful for the partners that we had, the Charlotte Harvest Center, Charlotte Mission Rescue Mission, as well as the Goodwill and Dove Nest. They came out and helped participate. And we created a kit for the families. My wife, she's a chef. She cooks some hot meals for them. We also put gas and grocery gift cards in there for the week. Some inspirational books appropriate for the appropriate ages for the kids.
Right.
Just to keep their spirits going and keep them, and feel like they can be able to, have some resource and know that someone out there thinking about them, during this particular time. So we called it a little label of love, and we want to go out there and try to provide that type of service for those families.
That's beautiful, man. How long have y'all had that going on? That's a lovely service.
Well, it's a foundation that we have ongoing. We create scholarship for our vocational students, and that's one of the few programs that's in the nation. So we try to make sure we bring awareness to that, because a lot of folks are really focused on the IT kids,
Right.
but so many kids that have aspiration, man, to still working with their hands and want to be plumbers,
Definitely.
as well as roofers. And so we're trying to give them resources and take some pressure off the parents financially, and give them a means of financial where they can go and continue to pursue their dreams.
Absolutely. Like you said, we'll always need plumbers. We'll always need heating, venting, air conditioning working. So that's a great program.
Appreciate it.
Of course. Now, I will say, I feel like you're known mostly for Space Jam, but I think personally, I think your best acting work was in Curb Your Enthusiasm. Did you get an Emmy for that? Did they ever get back to you on that one?
I was waiting for one. I was waiting.
Yeah.
I had a great time working with Larry David and Richard Lewis. Man, they were some funny guys. I mean, when I got the call to come out there, and when they explained the scene, I'm the perfect guy for that. And so getting out there, having working with them, man, it was fun. I had a good time doing that. Appreciate you bringing that up.
Oh, of course. How did that even come about? Like, who reached out to you? Just get a call from Larry David or HBO or?
Yeah, they called my agent, and
Okay.
they called my agent, and my agent called me and said, "You ain't gonna believe I got Larry David on the phone. He wants to speak." I'm like, "Larry David? I didn't even know who Larry David was."
Right.
Guy from Seinfeld. I said, "Oh, Seinfeld." I watched that because I watched Seinfeld relentlessly. So I got a chance to talk to him, and he explained everything to him. And at the time, my mom was going through some changes, with her health, and I wasn't going to go. But she convinced me to go ahead and go do the shoot anyway. And I went on and did it, and it wound up being a good shoot, and I enjoyed doing it.
You looking to do any more acting? What's next? Where we gonna catch you in next?
No, I'm not really looking forward to doing no acting. I'm just thankful that I get some calls to go do whatever, cameos that I get called for. But I am working on the Muggsy Bogues story. And
Okay.
so we're working on the Muggsy Bogues story, and we'll see how that all unfolds. Right now, it's in the works.
Who's playing Muggsy? Are you gonna play yourself, or who you calling to play Muggsy?
No. Actually, we ain't got to that point yet where we casting. So once we get to that point, I'm definitely ain't gonna play myself. I'm gonna have somebody probably take that part. But I might make a cameo though. I don't know.
You got to.
But we'll see how that. I got a grandson that fits the perfect bill of Muggsy.
Oh, there you go. That's young Muggsy right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I do have to add, before we get to some of our viewer questions in a couple minutes, Bridget backstage, I had to ask this for her. I had to. Now, do you have a favorite block shot of yours, and why was it the time you blocked Patrick Ewing? Why was it that one?
Well, that's what she said, Patrick. Well, I have a few other blocks, but Pat is the one that always stands out because I guess being the center that he is and the Hall of Famer that he is, that that gets a lot more attention. But that was a good block. I let him know that right after I did it, he was going to highlight film. I let him know that right then and there.
You said you had a couple other favorites. What are some of your favorite blocks?
Well, they were just short blocks where you get, you had one on a little Reggie Miller and a little thing, but they, the blocks are going up, Pooh Richardson and all those stuff.
It still counts, man.
Yeah, they still count. They do still count.
Now, you've been watching, you keeping up with the playoffs, any?
Oh, absolutely. I'm an avid fan, advocate.
So who do you have as the favorite so far? What are you seeing in the playoffs?
Well, teams have changed since they got to the bubble. But you just got to credit the teams that have stepped up. Toronto, you got to give them credit for putting themselves in a situation where they call the game 7 because they felt like Boston felt like they had the momentum, but now anything can happen. Those guys got championship pedigree, so they're not going out without a fight. And what you get, Clippers are playing well. You got to look and see how they playing. PG is a little up and down, but still, overall, they are playing well. And Lakers, AD and LeBron. But at the end of the day, I got.
Yeah, who's your favorite? Who's playing in the finals?
In the finals, I had Toronto in the finals, but it's something about this year, Siakam. So it may wind up being the Celtics against the Clippers.
Okay, Celtics. That'd be a good series. Who do you think wins that one?
For some reason, Kemba, he's due.
Okay.
And he's could possibly, put the team on his shoulders, even though Jaylen Brown and Tatum are the guys. But Kemba's that kind of secret weapon for me. I think he may get the job done.
That Charlotte connection. You're keeping it in the family there.
A little bit.
Now, I will say, with the change in between, like the way the game was played when you played and now, do you think your game fits better back then? You think it fits better now with like the benefit, like you would have the ball in your hand and so much spacing around you guys shooting three? How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, you just pretty much alluded to it, the spacing. I mean, we had nobody could camp in the lane anymore. I mean, not only you can't hand check anymore. So with all that said, I think, the opportunity for me would have been great, knowing that I can be able to get by my man at any time and then having the shooters that's out there that we have today.
Right.
I mean, it seemed like it will be a nice little field day, but, my era, I never discredit that because that's where, the game for me and where I always see was the better version of it because, you had that physicality that you couldn't escape from.
Right.
And it allows you to keep growing in terms of wanting to get better and wanting to stay in that gym and to take on those type of hits and those type of, bumps and bruises that you had to take from going to big guys. But, I loved the game back then. I always would pick that era over the era today because that was the era I grew up in.
Of course, yeah. Do you like watching the game now? I know some of the former players, some of them, think it's too many threes. They wanted to go more old school. Some of them love the new threes. Where do you fall on it?
I love the game. I'm a fan of the game, because it's a trend. It's always a trend. And everybody knows that the NBA is a trend.
Right.
Where whichever team that won that year before, teams like to kind of emulate that. It's just like when we was playing, everybody had to match up to the 2 guard, which was Michael Jordan. So everybody had a 6'6" guard, so forth. So, but the game has changed again. You got 7-footers bring the ball up today, where our 7-footers was playing with their back towards the basket.
Definitely.
And so the skill set had changed. The game has changed. Become more. The 3-point became more of a focal point. The skill set, like I said, has changed tremendously. So I'm enjoying the game. It's a lot more scoring. It's less defense, but playoff time, they pick it up a little bit, but I'm loving it. I'm loving what I'm saying.
Who are some of your favorite players to watch now?
I'm always gonna be a Stephen Curry fan, Chris Paul. I
Okay.
love the Westbrooks, the Kyle Lowry, and I just love the game. LeBron, Kawhi Leonard, Paul. I mean, you can go, list goes down. I just love the game. I love the guys. It's not one particular player that overshadows. I'm always gonna be a little more biased towards Steph.
Right.
He's more, a little more partial. As a kid, me and Dell spent 11 years together. But I like him and Seth at both. But I love the game. I love watching the guys.
Now, guy, you're talking about the 7-footers doing some of everything. What would you say to a guy like Giannis now, who just won another, is about to be MVP, but they just took one on the chin, took a hard loss in the second round? What do you say to him this offseason?
Well, get back in the gym. He got some flaws. He got some things that he need to work on. Get back in the gym and just keep working on it. Giannis I love his game. I mean, I had opportunity to just really get to know him and be around him, and he's such a great person. So I know how much he wants to be better, wants to be the best. He just continue to get back in the gym. He showed signs of shooting the three a little bit this year. But again, it's going to take a little more repetition, a little more rep, a little more confidence to believe in that's your shot.
Right.
And the free throws. I think he's all arms. I wish he could use his legs a little more. Come up on them toes. Come up on your toes. Come up on them toes every time you shoot. But I have no doubt what he's going to do off season. He's going to work.
Right.
He's going to work. He's going to get better. He's going to see the things that the things he needs to get better at and work on that. Hopefully he remains in Milwaukee because that's the sticking point. Everybody seems like everybody run and join those teams in order for you to elevate. But knowing him, I think he's a loyal guy. He's the type of person that he wants it where he is. And I hope that he's in Milwaukee and bring it to Milwaukee.
Now, you played in some classic old uniforms, and we'll get to some of the viewer questions. What's your favorite old uniform? Because the old Bullets uniforms were good. The old Hornets are classic. Do you have an old favorite?
Well, that pinstripe is something.
Yeah.
That pinstripe. Yeah, we was the first with that pinstripe. Then we had the pleats with the pinstripe and the shorts. That was.
Yeah, I think the shorts is what made it.
Yeah, and of course they were shorty shorts. Shorty short. We showing a little more legs back then. But those always stand out. That uniform right there.
Yeah, I think Charlotte. That's one of the all-time. The old starter jackets, the old jerseys. Yeah. Break out the teal or the purple. So I think Charlotte's definitely a great choice there.
Yeah.
We'll jump to a couple of questions. Let's see what we have here. What do we have, Bridget, as far as the questions? First one, man, I'm not even going to try to say your name. I don't even want to disrespect you like that. But I will ask you a question. Yes, who did you learn from the most from your NBA teammates?
Who did I learn the most from my most NBA teammates? Well, at the beginning, it was Moses Malone and Darryl Walker, because when I first got to the Washington Bullets, those was my vets.
Right.
They taught me the do's and don'ts about how to conduct yourself, how to keep bettering yourself, and at that stage, you kind of, you anxious, you want to be, you're being drafted highly, you want to be out there, but things kind of have to take time, and I was given that time and given that information how to keep bettering yourself, and I think that allowed me to play the 14 years that I did. Without those guys' information, that leadership that they kind of instilled in me early on, I probably would have been a little chicken with my head cut off, just trying to find a way,
just running around.
Yeah, but it always helped when you had some true vets giving you that true information.
Definitely.
True information to allow you to understand the business side of the game, and that's what I took from it.
So, next question we've got from Bogues in here. So, who has the worst trash talk that you played against? Who is the worst?
GP is the one. GP is always going to be at the top because that was his game. He liked to talk, and you love where because he's coming from a good place though.
Right.
But that's what he does. He want to bring that out of you because that's schoolyard basketball.
Right.
And when that happens, you love to give it right back.
I love asking that question. I feel like every single time GP is he's always mentioned.
Yes. Because at the point guard position, even though he plays some two guard, but the point guard position, that's that was his thing. That's what got him going, and that's what elevated his game. So we got to join in because that's where it all started on the streets.
Right. Let's see what next question we have from Evil ESPN. What's some memories you have playing in Toronto at the beginning of Insanity?
Oh my goodness, some great memories. I mean, because that was the tail end of my career, and but it came a time where we had a lot of veterans mixed in with the young guy, the Insanity they talking about, with Tracy McGrady at the same time, Alvin Williams, and so myself, Doug Christie, Charles Oakley, Del Curry, Antonio Davis, and Kevin Willis, we kind of made that team and mixed that team into where we was able to make the playoff for the very first year of Toronto, the 2000 year. And playing there, the fans were unbelievable supportive. And you remember that, and you know how, coming to the arena, how loud they were.
Right.
And at the time, you didn't respect that from Canadians because you thought that was an athlete type of town.
Right.
Knowing that they was all educated in the game of basketball really stood out. And it created a lot of pros now in the NBA because you got about 15 Canadians that's playing in the NBA right now.
Definitely. Yeah, they've got Jamal Murray, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Like, they've got some very nice young players coming out of Canada.
Wiggins.
RJ Barrett, a few more.
Lord Joseph.
Yep. Let's see. What else we got here, Bridget? Let's see. Mitch Fletch says, what's Muggsy's take on the new Space Jam?
Well, my take on the new Space Jam, I'm interested. I'm excited to see it. I want to see what's going to happen with it. And because my thing is that, we saved the planet. I want to know what's going to happen with them. What they going to take?
Yeah. What can you do after y'all save the planet? What's left?
Y'all have universe soon. I don't know what's next. So I'm interested to see what they come up with.
Let's see. Okay, another Space Jam one. Swigonski says, what was your favorite Space Jam experience?
Offset.
What happened?
Well, the Cleans one, just playing cards with the guys, having fun playing cards. Yeah, Space Jam, man, we had so much fun on set. LJ was supposed to he got a haircut. We were supposed to have a shoot that morning. He wound up getting this bowl cut. This white guy never could have cut a black guy hair before. He gave LJ a pose for bowl cut. We had to cancel the shoot that morning.
Y'all just can't even postpone.
Yeah, he ain't going on camera with that cut. No, absolutely not. Yeah, but we had a great time on that. But we had a great time on the set.
What kind of cards was y'all playing, man? I know y'all had some serious games going.
Well, yeah, you're gonna play a little poker, a little blackjack, it's a little games going on, boy. It gets tight, a little in between. Them games get a little.
They probably get heated. I could see them getting a little heated.
They get expensive. More heated, they don't get heated. It gets expensive, boy. Yeah.
So who was the one always who was taking everybody's money? Who was dominating the cards?
No, I ain't gonna share that. I ain't gonna say who won. Okay. I'm gonna leave that. That's gone. I just shared the information that we play cards.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. He said, Mike don't mess around when he comes to the cards. Mike's very serious about those cards. Let's see. We got one from For Your Eyes. What motivated you day to day and long term?
Well, doubters, the naysayers, folks not believing in, folks that set their mind on something. They look at the negative side of it, what they think the negative side of it, to where they have no control of it. But me, I focus always on the positive and look at the bright side. Especially when it comes to me, I know who I am. I know no one can control me, my destiny besides myself. And I love that person and that reflection that I see through that mirror. So, that's the giving right there. And so I have no qualms or no means of going forward, but those are the ones that motivate you the most.
Let's see. Got one from Sweet Lou here. It said, have you discussed the lack of home court advantage in the bubble? Yeah, what do you make of that as a former player? Just how there's no home court advantage. And Sweet Lou mentioned the Toronto atmosphere, which we're clearly missing this year, like some of those home court advantages. So what do you make of that?
Yeah, a lot of teams are missing that home court advantage. I mean, because they don't realize that sixth man, which the fans, they bring so much to the game, much to the game. Sometimes guys go to the game where they not even wanting to play, but the fans, the noise, the excitement that they continue, the culture that they create, it gets them going. It brings that extra adrenaline. So they miss that dearly. But down in the bubble, these guys got to rely on each other. You know, the teammates. You know, the little virtual fans, the virtual fans that you have, you got to rely on all of that, you know, because that's your supporting cast right now. And you can see it affect some teams does well with it as opposed to others. You know, look, Milwaukee never recovered from it. You know, it seemed like they stayed in that situation the whole time, and other teams is rallying behind it. Miami, look, you know, they showed up and they playing lights out. Toronto, you know, I know they missed that Jurassic Park, you know, the fans yelling out there and inside as well. But they showed up. They showing up. You know, they got championship pedigrees in those guys. They're not going out without a fight.
Definitely. I think we got a couple more questions here. One from Timothy. Timothy said, which retired player would be a problem both on and off the court if they were playing in a bubble? So who's trouble on the court and off the court if y'all were in the bubble?
Who's trouble for me? What player would be a problem?
Yeah, it said which retired player. I don't know if he means off the court, like they trying to get you back into playing some of those expensive card games. They're trying to get you out. Yeah, on the golf course, take some of your money.
Oh, well, I tell you what. Well, let me see which retired player would be a problem both on and off the court if they were playing in the well. MJ will be a nightmare for them guys in the right now, for sure. So on and off the court, I would say he will be a nightmare for those guys in the bubble.
Yeah, I feel like he's got to be the one that if he comes around the corner, nobody want to see him come around the corner with the deck of cards in his hand. See, I think we got one more here from ODG. Said, was there a time on or off the court that somebody was messing with you and Oakley stepped in and Oak stepped in?
My big fella Oak. Well, you know, man, Oak and I played with each other in Toronto, and I'm trying to think if it ever been time someone kind of came up to me and big fella had to step in. I'm quite sure it happened. Because, you know, that's my dad. That's my dog dad. You know, we got each other back. And, you know, one thing about Oak, he's loyal to his teammates, to his friends, you know, and that's what real is. It was all about, you know, real will always recognize real. And he's one of the realest you ever want to be around.
I was gonna say, I know if it was somebody messing with you, I know Oak wouldn't put up with that for too long.
Oh, absolutely not.
And one last question we've been asking our legends before we let you out of here. What are you listening to now, Muggsy? We're trying to put together like a playlist. Give me a song or two. What are you listening to? Either around the house, in the car, at the gym, whenever.
Well, you know, I don't know why Pop Smoke is on my
okay.
It's just in my ear right now. It's okay. Always. I mean, I'm always, you know, it's.
It make your shoulders move a little bit. Yeah.
Your little shoulder, you know, it makes you move a little bit. So he's definitely on me. But then I always gotta, you know, for me when I'm relaxing low back, I gotta put my Temptations station on. You know, my slow grooves is always gonna take place with me at night. But during the day on the golf course, you know, I got my hip hop on. I got my you know, my Offset and all that, my Drake. I got all that.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, give us as many songs as you want to give us. We getting the whole playlist. We getting a couple songs from everybody.
Yeah. So that's, you know, we're gonna have it. That's those are my guys right there. You know, so you know, and then you know, right foot up, left foot slide. Yeah, we all the Tootsie. We do it.
Okay. Yeah, you be tapping your toes out there.
Yeah. A little tit tap.
All right, Muggsy. Thank you so much, man. We won't hold up too much of your time. Again, this is Muggsy Bogues, the Charlotte Hornet legend, Demon Deke in Baltimore's finest. Muggsy, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Appreciate you, man. Enjoy it, man. Appreciate you having me. Continue
yes, sir.
Buddy.
Of course. Thank you, sir.
My man.
All right. That'll do it this week for Legends Live. As always, new episodes live every Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern. You can catch us on the NBA Alumni, the Twitter page, the Facebook, the YouTube, as well as the Twitch. And I'd like to remind our viewers, you can watch the replays of any episode at legendsofbasketball.com/legendslive.